Hello and welcome to another episode of the MTG Arena Run. It's the weekend again, and it's going to be our first weekend with Guilds of Ravnica Quick Draft. So I've actually had enough gems saved over to do another sealed, but let's take advantage of draft while we can. So without further ado, let's pay the piper, and let's see what we get. Well, we got modern and legacy. Actually, it's more of a legacy all-star Narcomoeba, but I kind of don't want to take this one first. Crush Contraband, very good sideboard card, but I probably don't want to run it. Crackling Drake is actually quite good for constructed. I might limited. It's a bit questionable considering that you normally want to run about 7 to 8 instant and sorceries. Actually, it's not even instant and sorceries. It's 7 to 8 non-creatures. Maybe 10 is the max, and not all of them are going to be instants and sorceries, so that might be an issue. Glaive of the Guild Pack, decent equipment. For some reason, equipment in multicolored sets tend to be underpowered, so that kind of kills this. So let's see what else we got. So Hunted Witness, Doom Traveler, some long lost cousin. We got Skyline Scout. I guess we could take Unexplained Disappearance. It's a good removal with Surveil. I heard good things about Demir in Guilds of Ravnica Limited, and it's practically the only good blue card. Okay, Crackling Drake is probably good. If I didn't take this one, actually, no, I'm really gonna take this one. There's really not much else here. On the other hand, this is something else. We definitely have Chromatic Lantern. This one makes it so that our mana doesn't really matter. No, we still have to follow the basic fundamentals because we're not gonna always have this, but it we can really start looking into tree color if we do take this. Otherwise, I would probably just take Pitiless Gorgon. Fits in that shell also. A creature type of your choice. Selective Snares This is actually a good anti-soldier card. There is a decent soldier team in this deck. Otherwise, yeah, I guess I'm taking the Chromatic Lantern. Now, if we're gonna go for the Surveil deck, we want payoffs. Whispering Snitch is actually a decent payoff in a sense. Cheap drop, you can get something. Cheap drop. This one eventually hurts over time. My other option is Whisper Agent. That's pretty much about it. Actually, let's take a look at the red cards here. So, Piston Fist Cyclops. This one's actually quite scary. Gravitic Punch is also scary too. Street Riot. Not so great. Orcish Oriflame. That reminds me back of the day. I said good things about the Mir. Another good one would be Boros. So if we ever went into, so red is very open, but we're gonna try to avoid that actually. Only because if we start taking into it this early, we might get sniped out. So I'll take the Whispering Snitch. I will also take Plaguecrafter. It's decent removal at that. Burglar Rat's a good option too, but I think I'll take the card that actually can remove something. Vicious Rumors, I've heard it might be overrated. So if ever we go tree color, I guess our third splash color is gonna be red. Sad thing is we might end up black-red splashing blue. So if ever we did that, I'd want something that I can look for. Not Smeltguard Borgian. Ornery Goblin is quite ornery and quite annoying. I could just take Demir Locket, but I'm gonna speculate with Sonic Assault. Let's see what we can get out of it. I can also just take the Izzet Guild Gate or the Locket at this point. I'll take the Moodmark Painter. We do have a good number of creatures. This is a decent fin. It kind of synergizes, allows us to get one good hit, I guess. But I'll take the Izzet Guild Gate for now. So right now we are blue. We're either blue-black splashing red or blue-red splashing black. Invert, this one's okay. Invert and Invent. This might not be the best split card for us. We don't have any must custom spells. Cosmotronic Wave. Whoa. No, I could just take a Guild Gate again. Could also take Silent Dart. This one's... It's sort of removal, I guess. I'm gonna prioritize the... I might want to prioritize the land first, though. So let's prioritize this first. Let's see what we get out of it. So, Veiled Shade gets bigger over time. I guess I will take that. My other option would be Rubble Built Boar. I really have to think hard about this one. So, I did say that red was kind of open. I might just go into blue-red at this point. Let's see. Besides, I kind of like creatures where I don't have to invest additional mana. So, we could speculate on white. No, that's too much. So, Fire Urchin. It's cheap. I guess I can start with that. Child of Night's also cheap, so I'll take that too. So, we now have to decide. Okay, I'll definitely take the Whisper Agent. So now I just have to decide which is the splash color. Fine, I'll take some... fine, I'll spread a few Vicious Rumors. Zada Marshall, okay. I'm gonna try not to run all of these guys. Beast Whisperer. If anyone's seen the pre-release for Guilds of Ravnica, this one is quite good at chaining stuff. We did see the best case scenario in that one. But that said... Disinformation campaign. This one's continuous. This one's continuous benefit. Continuous some card advantage. Watcher in the Mist does give us some. It's probably we do need a good top end, so I probably would take Watcher in the Mist though. Thought Erasure. I would like to see one of these come back. I will take the Watcher in the Mist though, because we still need to end the game, as cute as this information campaign is. Okay, Guild Mage's Forum. This one makes creatures better if they're multicolored. That said, I would not really consider this fixing, so I think I really am going to be primarily blue-black. I don't think I have enough radical ideas. I will just take the Demir Informant. We'll need removal, so a Deadly Visit's quite good. Guild Summit. We have 2 gates. We might want a third one. Sonic Assault. This is kind of removal too, so I could just take this. I could take another Whisper Agent. Torn. I'll take the Whisper Agent because it's probably easier for us to cast. We are going to be primarily black at this point though. So, take a Child of Night. And I could say we could take Maniacal Rage also, but none of our creatures are that good to wear one of it, so I'm not too sure about that. Maximize Altitude. It's one way to get some damage, true. Could just take another Child of Night. Barging Sergeant. Good way to pump up some guy, but it's definitely going to trade down. I'm probably just going to take the Maximize. And there is Molder Hulk, though. We will mandatorily need the Chromatic Lantern just to cast this, but... Interesting. But this is a 6/6. I'll speculate. Let's take that. Probably going to take another... Watcher in the Mist. Mission Briefing. This one's probably the best constructed, one of the better constructed cards. I was gonna say best. I'll just take, but I will take Watcher. We do need a decent top end. Alternately, I could just take another Demir Guildgate. You know what? Let's get greedy. I'm gonna take the Mission Briefing. Probably not gonna cast it. Creeping Chill I will take though. On the odd chance. Now, sure enough, all these cards came back. Now, which would I prefer? Thought Erasure. I have to be careful with how I pronounce cards. We want to erase memories. We are not into erasing people. I guess I'll just take the Disinformation Campaign. This one at least nets us a card back. Let's Radical Idea, Invert. Invert's actually quite tricky. We might be able to make a have good use out of it. That said, I'll just take another Guild Gate for now. Let's keep them, and I'll take the Golgari Locket. This way we can run this. We can run Molder Hulk without having to play another. Well, if I do see a Guild Gate, I will take it. Sure, just take the Wall of Mist. Golgari Raider, Circuitous Route. I'll take the route. I'm probably not gonna run it. That's it. Let's drop the Vicious Rumors out of here. Drop the Wall of Mist. We got Glowspore Shaman. One of the. Probably should just take another Deadly Visit though. Mephitic Vapor is also an option. Enhanced Surveillance. No, this one's a bit. It's either between Demir Informant or. Let's just take another Deadly Visit. We have to also consider if we're running 17 or 18 lands, especially since we're a tricolor deck at this point. Dark Blade Agent's a good way to draw cards again. Alternately, there's Omnispell Adept. It's nice, but requires a lot of things to be right. One, we have to be able to cast it. Two, we have to keep floating mana. Three, we have to actually have a card you want to cast in hand. And the only ones that are relatively cheaper than the 2 mana is Creeping Chill and the 2 Deadly Visits. So no, I'll just take Dark Blade Agent. I am willing to take House Guildmage though. This one's Repeatable Surveil. Shame we didn't see the bug. Actually, on the other hand, as much as I like this, I kind of like this better. Removal is king. We got the same choice again. Take an is it Guild Gate? No, I think this is too. I think these are enough Guild Gates. Thought Erasure. Probably gonna cut the Fire Urchin. We could just take Bartizan Bats. We could take a. I guess now. So I'll just take Deadweight though. It's probably one of the best cards ever. And Golgari Find Broker, Undercity Uprising, sort of removal. Rhizome Locker, Lurcher. Need to do a creature count. I think we're woefully short on creatures. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we're woefully short on creatures. So we have to start taking them now. Bartizan Bats. Mesmeris, not so great. Thankfully, there's another Dark Blade Agent we can take. Probably should take the. Let's just take another Whisper Agent. Flash is actually quite good in this case. So. Not too fond of any of these guys. I probably just hate out the Arboretum Elemental. That's going to be very nasty for us. Mephitic Vapors. Okay, some of our things do get hit, but not too many. Never happen. I'll just probably take the Glowspore Shaman. Probably not gonna run it in the final deck though. Yeah, sure, just take the Passwall Adept and not run the Glowspore Shaman. Barrier of Bones, Cheap Surveil. That's. Do I want another? No, I think I'll actually take the Silent Dart now. Thought Erasure. Still think we need more removal. I think I'll take the Bats again. No, more creatures I meant. So, Gravitic Punch, probably not gonna see play. Vigor Spore Worm, definitely not gonna see play. Demir Locket, let's consider that. But now we have a lot of cards to cut. 8 cuts. So let's start with the ones that are okay. Let's try to make this as blue black as possible. Let's try to keep down the red. So as you can see, it's blue black, and most of the other cards are gold. I can also opt to just remove Molder Hulk, just run it with these guys. Bit scary though, nothing really big, but we do have two deadly visits. Darkblade agents can have that touch on the flies. We could sneak some damage through with Sonic Assault and Artful Takedown. So we're basically just splashing red for the Sonic Assault. So let's just drop the Molder Hulk, and I'm low to do it, but let's just drop it to simplify the mana base. Let's see. I did draft a Demir Locket. Yeah, I did. So we still need to make 4 more cuts. All of them have to be from the non-creature segment. So Disinformation campaign's probably too slow. Let's see. What are the ones that I could drop out? Probably the Silent Dart. They'll keep the dead weight. Pass wall. Never happens. Never happened. Keep the deadly. I could likewise just make this straight blue-black. Just cut the Sonic Assaults. Let's check our removal count. 1, 2, 3. This one's a virtual, so let's leave it at 3. This one's just 4. We got 6. I think I do want to keep these. That said, I'll cut out the Chromatic Lantern. Since we're only just splashing for red, that's not... You know what? I take it back. Because I have to choose between Chromatic Lantern and Demir Locket. I think I'll keep the Locket and keep the Locket because this allows us to draw cards near the end. In that regard, I think this information campaign has to go. So this gives us 14 creatures, 9 spells. We have a good amount of early action. Hopefully our late game can take care of things. I really want to fit the Molder Hulk if I could. But that means I'll need to take the Chromatic Lantern also, so Demir Locket. So 2 mountains, kind of scary, but we don't have much in the but otherwise not too bad. Our only double casting cost spells are at the 5 count, so that should be fine. Yeah, I guess I'm willing to run this one. But let's see. So this one is just Demir Surveillance. With a few assaults. So let's go for that one. If I think the mana ever gets too wonky, I will just cut the Sonic Assaults and put back some of the other stuff instead. It's not like we're hurting for options here. That's the good news. Now let's see if we can translate the good news into a good win. I probably need to make another splash screen on the bottom side here so that I'm not shifting back and forth. Also helps hide our opponent's name on this corner down here. Maybe a huge obnoxious. If you like what you see, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so we got something good. Whispering Snitch into Demir Locket. I'm willing to keep this one. I can kiss the Snitch goodbye early on, I guess, but I'll keep it. So, and we got all our colors, so that's the good news. Now we have to decide if we're going to you know what, let's just show the blue. That's the reg. You know what? Let's just... We don't need to show the blue yet. Not until turn 4. So our opponent's looking at this guy. He's probably gonna want to remove him. He's deciding how to deal with it. Disinformation. Okay. So he actually went with it. So I'm gonna discard the swamp. Yeah, he's not gonna trade. Now, do I run the locket now or just go for an unexplained disappearance now? You know what? I'll just go for the locket now. It opens us up to... It opens us to turn 5 dead... Next turn deadly visit if we have to. But definitely we're dealing with an opposing surveillance deck, so... He surveils, he gets this back again. We're gonna have to try to outpace our opponent. He's definitely got... Okay, maybe not so soon. So... Unfortunately, we drew this. So... I could tap, do an artful takedown, and deal 1 damage. This is a sorcery, but I'm probably not gonna cast that if ever, so pass the turn. Still shy in creatures though, but let's see if he proceeds. Let's see if he decides to do something on combat. He's gonna pump. You know what? I'll let that resolve, because it's still the beginning. He hasn't declared attackers yet. So let's choose both. So we're gonna tap a creature first, then we're gonna give creature -2, -4. Then our opponent's part didn't have anything. I can attack with the snitch first and just play crafter, force a bunch of sacrifices. Shame I don't get the benefit much, but Surveil's quite good in itself. I don't need to live off the snitch, so I'm just gonna attack with the snitch first. So I'm just gonna cast a Plague Crafter now. So I'm gonna sacrifice the snitch. So end the turn. I likewise have the option that if I need to, I can bounce the Plague Crafter back into hand. So if he plays a single creature, I'm just gonna bounce him back and replay him again. Sure, I lose the creature in the process. I could likewise just... Yeah, it might be better to use the capture sphere. Okay, that's actually perfectly fine. Because now I caused our Plague Crafter to unexplainably disappear. Definitely keep that on top. We need that. Now, our opponent has plenty of time to answer this. So we're gonna ditch lands and I'll ditch the Guild Gate. Keep the Whisper Agent because we need creatures at this point. Now, if our opponent plays a creature of his own, I'm going to just unplay the Plague Crafter. Sack that instead. I'm expecting our opponent to actually play a removal spell or... Well, absolutely nothing's also an option. So let's just go and attack. I still can't crack this locket yet. Then... Let's see. He's got the removal spell. He's gotta have something at 4 mana. He can't just be sitting around doing... Got an Artful Takedown of his own. Well, not... Well, that's it. So I'm actually gonna pass the turn and you cast Whisper Agent at the end of his turn. Then we'll try to answer his threat. Hired Poisoner, Veiled Shade. So we're gonna cast our own Whisper Agent. Come on. Got another Whisper Agent. We'll keep that. So let's attack with this guy first. We'll probably trade with the Hired Poisoner. Yeah, it's gonna trade. That's kind of expected. So we'll take the damage. No, we'll not take the damage. So I could just cast this Creeping Chill now. Or I could just wait for the life to drop down. I could also just cast Plague Crafter now, get it over with. Yeah, I don't think There. Let's just get that over with. So, unfortunate. Okay. That's perfectly fine. He needs to surveil. He's gonna surveil. Let's pay attention also, see if he ditches anything in the graveyard. So far, all of this has been voluntary. He's getting this information back. He's digging for lands at this point. So I'm definitely gonna play the Darkblade Agent, because this is our way of drawing cards now. And I don't think he knows we have a Whisper Agent. He's got his 5th land. He's gonna play Disinformation Campaign. We're going to actually ditch the Creeping Chill. He's got Child of Night, that's okay. So got 6 lands, that's okay too. So we're gonna attack. If he doesn't block, okay, Whisper Agent. So yeah, gonna ditch that swamp. And we're gonna draw a card that's not a swamp. No, we did draw a card that's a swamp. Unbelievable. Now question, are we willing to trade the Child of Night for his Whisper Agent? Opponent's more likely to, yeah, just drop something bigger. Which I'm very likely to pay a Deadly Visit to. Also gonna need to remember to start keeping lands, because this information campaign's gonna keep coming back. So yeah, ditch another island. I could ditch the Child of Night for something better, but we still need creatures. So combat, attack. Okay, so that trade happens. Draw a card. I'm actually willing to play the swamp. Then if ever we have to ditch something, I would ditch either of these guys, just to have an opportunity to crack the locket. Yeah, let's just make sure we have enough locket mana. In fact, I could just play the Child of Night now, just kiss the bats goodbye. We do have a 2nd copy. Wow, how many cards did we go through? Well, we ditched a few lands also. We're actually going through our deck faster than our opponent is. He's got his own Darkblade Agent. He probably has Surveil. He might have Surveil in hand. Might not. So could just cast another one. No, I'll cast the bats first, because we need to start hitting our opponent up in the air. He's got Sinister Sabotage. Okay, at least that gets that out of his hand. And I know not to attack into this guy now. And since he's going for that, I'm gonna play my 2nd Darkblade Agent. No attacks. So I managed to churn through my deck faster than he did. This information campaign's now been reduced to draw a card. I kinda wish I had that Guild Mage now, repeatable. Let's see if we can get the Surveil, or if he does. At the very least, this one eats through his counter spells. Because he does want to get rid of these guys eventually. He could actually have a mission briefing, and no, mission briefing's not enough. Also, my gripe about mission briefing is the... Oh, leave his cover up. And he gets some cards back. So it's not the end of it for him. We might actually mill ourselves out. So we still have another... So we still have options, at least. It's not that bad. If ever our opponent attacks with Darkblade Agent, I'm gonna toss these... Throw these 2 in front of him. Or he could just wipe the entire board. Okay, so pass while adept. I'm gonna pass the turn. If he decides to do a surveil and then and force us to discard this guy, that's okay. He's doing absolute... Okay, time to crack the locket. He might do something in response, but I doubt it. Okay, got some more action. So I'm gonna keep holding on to the swamp. Let's cast the bats first. He's probably gonna counter it again. So this guy actually is making good use of counter spells here. Okay, in fact, I might... So Child of Night. Let's try to churn through as much of his deck as though we are in a bit of a time limit. We've managed to do only 3 damage and we're down to 11 cards. How many of these are lands? So we got 6 lands in play. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in hand. So 6 of these are lands. That's not good. So let's pass the turn. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna win this game, only because our opponents managed to answer our threats in due fashion. We don't have the 17 turns to hit. Our opponent's actually gonna buy this back and discard our pass while adept. So it turns out Disinformation campaign's quite good with enough surveil cards. I guess I'm going to put... You know, there's also another thing that of interesting note. I haven't drawn into a single... There you go, Sonic Assaults. But it only deals damage to your opponent's creatures. If your opponent's not doing anything, that's an issue. The jumpstart is nice. It's a nice way of getting through, but I wish I gotten these guys earlier. The Mere Spybug. Let's resolve that. Let's see if he tries to cast another spell in response. Oh, and this one only deals damage to that creature's controller, so... I guess there's no rush for me to cast it now. Could just pay Deadly Visit. Let's just pass the turn. Tap creature, deal 2 damage. Yeah, I'm thinking now this is not so great anymore. Especially if our opponents manage to counter everything in time. So we're gonna take some damage. We can just hit it with a Deadly Visit afterwards. The good news is I don't have to... I'm not gonna lose my other removal. I'm gonna take 3 damage though, but that's not what I'm afraid of at this point. Still got enough creatures. Yeah, I'm gonna change the deck out. So... Unfortunately, I have to hold on to these. And I'm actually going to take a bit of damage here, but I'm going to play this land first. I'll just do the jumpstart next turn. He can bring this up to 10. It's actually... I could actually lose 2 damage here, so at least it's not that embarrassing. Now he's going to start drawing into stuff. And thankfully, I'm only gonna take 3 damage. No, 4. So he's gonna pump twice. Oh, he's holding mana up. Either that, or it could be a bug in the system. Let's pass the turn. So having 1 creature is not enough. I'm gonna swap out the... Reveals their hand. Target a creature. Discard a card. And it doesn't deal the damage to that creature, just it deals it to the controller. I misread that too. But you do get to surveil and draw cards again. Unfortunate. Probably could have ditched one land. How many cards do I have? 7. Yeah, that might be a problem. Okay, I'm gonna play the island. I don't have any more reactive cards at this point. So he's got 2, 3, 4. You can pump this up to 7. Spinal Centipede. Actually, I would stop casting creatures at this point. I would just hit with this. Yeah, I used up my other Deadly Visit. You can pump this infinitely. I will agree, it is good game at this point. I'm probably gonna lose. Oh wait, no, he held the mana back because he's cracking the locket. You know what? I'll let him play the Disinformation campaign. So next turn I'm gonna take. Oh, he didn't even crack it? Oh, he's worried what I had in hand. Here. So I got 5 cards to his 9. He's the one who need. So he's keeping things simple. Yeah, he's got enough creatures to run me over at this point. So, and I don't have a card to do this and jumpstart. That would have been a nice trick, but nope, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, so just some good. So good game. Tap this guy. Yeah, then he can finish me off. So I'm going to definitely adjust the deck. I'm gonna bring back the Chromatic Lantern, and I'm gonna drop the Sonic Assaults in favor of. Yeah, we need finishers. We need more creatures at this point. So watch my Bronze Tier disappear. Well, at least I managed to cast a ton of spells, so that's not too bad. So let's adjust that deck. So first these go, and this one goes. So I'm probably gonna need 2 forests. So what are my options? Still main black. We could play our own Disinformation campaign. We do, but we will play Molder Hulk and Chromatic Lantern. I kind of still want to ditch the Disinformation campaign. We did ditch a few cards because of this. Our opponent was able to get a few cards, but I think getting the green form, getting the mana we need might be more important. Same reason why I'm not putting in Golgari Locket. Also, technically need one more. I could use another creature too. Arboretum Elemental, we can convoke it. It has hexproof, but it takes 9 mana. The Vigor Spore Worm might be better. So that said, we need to remove 1 card. I might just ditch the Dimir Locket. Or the Passwall Adept. Yeah, I probably. No, this one could hit out of nowhere. I might actually ditch the Creeping Chill. Let's ditch the Locket for now. Then let's add 2 forests. And okay. So I guess it's a different form of surveillance. So let's go with this flavor instead. Let's see if this turns out to be better. So yeah, I get my misreading of Sonic Hulk. Sonic what's that card? Oh, Sonic Blast. My misreading of that card kind of hurt us a bit. I'm gonna keep this one. We got a turn 2 into a turn 3 play. We got the first turn guild gate to match. So definitely keep this. Interesting to note that neither of us were able to... No, our opponent got significant damage to us in the end, but we were able to stretch it out to the long game. In fact, how long was that game? I think it was close to like 15 minutes. So let's keep this one. So our game plan is turn 1 Dimir Guildgate, turn 2 Whispering Snitch, turn 3 Darkblade Agent. Then we start pulling off unexplained disappearances and whatnot to draw cards back in again. So opponents got the mountain drop on us. We're gonna need at least 2 more lands in over time. Hopefully these guys can do it. But you only got one Okay. We're gonna take damage from this goblin because there is no way I'm not gonna pitch the snitch to the goblin. Lava Coil is gonna be a... Okay, so our opponent's got... This is it. No blocks. Let's see what our opponent's got turn 3. The Mirror Informant. He's also got the Surveil. I'm gonna go Darkblade Agent first. If I'm gonna go for... I only got one payoff right now. If I'm gonna go for the payoff, I'm gonna go... I'm gonna try to maximize as much value as I can. Also, I need another black source ASAP. So, opponents ditch the Hammer Dropper. He's So, opponent ditched the Hammer Dropper. Probably has white, but doesn't have it on him right now. So, I'm guessing he might be red. Might be a red main. So, let's see. If any, I definitely want... Is this blocks or becomes blocks? So, this guy will trade with any of my guys. I could just likewise cast it on the goblin, get it out of the way, have the Darkblade Agents swing through. Meanwhile, our opponent's deciding... Okay, he's got... I'm hoping he attacks. No blocks. Okay, so we now have to go for it. Now, if it's a land, we must need to keep it. Yeah, we have to keep that. In fact, I get to draw it, so that's not too bad. Then, we have to play the Passwall Adept because that blocks the Ornery Goblin. Child of Night doesn't. Now, we need one more land to start getting Deadly Visit. Start being able to pay a few Deadly Visits. Otherwise, I'll just play Bartizan Bats. One toughness is painful. It's not that great. At least it flies. That's the good news. Then we place the Mirror Informant again. We could likewise just start making stuff unblockable. But now that's a question. Do I... It's either that or I just take the hit from the Goblin again. Opponent's deciding now. Is he willing to trade the Goblin for the Passwall Adept? Am I gonna get another black source? I know I have some. Otherwise, I just play the bats and start flying over. Okay, opponent then bite. So I can actually pay a Deadly Visit. Am I willing to pay a Deadly Visit just to a Goblin? Because I got another one and the Darkblade Agent can swing through. I'm also... But this is something that I'm reminded of thanks to the previous match. This is Disdainful Stroke mana. I'm going to cast the bats first. That's a... Okay, he doesn't have it. No attacks. We're gonna take our time a bit. Now, I'm also concerned with our opponent having a white splash. This could easily be Deafening Clarion. Start with a few radical ideas. I think he's looking for a way to kill the bats. Yep. And thankfully he went for the bats and not the Dark Blade Agent. So I got my splash color, so I have to play that. Let's pay the Goblin a deadly... Actually, I can either pay the Goblin a deadly visit, or I can just make these guys unblockable and just swing. Not. I'll cast Child of Night. Make the Dark Blade Agent unblockable. Sure, I don't get the card, but at least I start getting damage through. That's more important for me. Basically, it's me unwilling to pay mana to kill these guys. Trading creatures might not be a bad option though if I'm going to play either of my splash cards. Well, now that I have the option to cast them. Let's see what our opponent's up to though. Gonna jumpstart his radical ideas, see if it pays off. I think our opponent might be stuck on mana, or particularly white mana. He's ditched 3 cards because of that. He got his mana source, so I'm gonna be concerned next turn. Got Whisper Agent. I'm actually gonna just attack with this guy first, because I now have this as a combat trick of sorts. So Dark Blade Agent can trade with even the Dimir Informant if he ever decides to attack. At this point also I have to expect something big. Sacred Foundry. He played the tap, so he didn't have the mana for it after casting. So let's see what he gets. Nothing. So okay, fine, nothing then. Because if it's a whole bunch of nothing, I can take my time. If our opponent does have a response, that's perfectly fine too. Justice Strike deals damage to itself, and I gain the life. So, not too shabby. So we're still holding on to the land yet. Well, I don't think our opponent has a discard effect, but no need to drop all the lands yet. Yeah, then watch me proceed to draw the... Opponent's also not doing much either, so that's also kind of scary. So I will play the land. I have 1 creature, so it gets vigilance and +1/+1. I could likewise just start. Not. Because if I drop this, yeah, I don't get much else done. Force our opponent to remove it though. I could attack, force him to block it. Yeah, he's gonna block. Yeah, I didn't trigger it on purpose because I wanted to trigger this on purpose instead. I don't get the card draw. I lose the Dark Blade Agent. He's gonna try to answer the snitch now, so I don't get the life benefit. Is he trying to buy back a spell in his... Wait, what? 4 mana to buy back something. He's looking at his graveyard, so he's He's got that effect running true, I guess. Let's explore. What could he be possibly trying to cast? Leave his cover up. Oh, he's just countering it. That's actually okay. So I don't get the benefit of the snitch. He gets these cards back. Might be a problem. At least I get some actual targets to pay deadly visits to. Deals 1 damage. That's not much. So we trade that off. End the turn there. So I could make the snitch a 3/5 or the adept a 3/5. Let's see what our opponent's big deal is. Crackling Drake, so he gets to draw a card. That's a prime target. So that one's gonna get. Well, he did have better targets now that he got shuffled them back in. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I need 8 mana. So 5 to cast this. Gonna keep the Child of Night, gonna drop the Swamp. Gets more life. Pay for this creature to be unblockable. So swing with this guy. So I guess next turn we go for the Vigor Spore Worm. Unless our opponent has a bigger threat. Let's see what he's got. He's trying to represent a counter spell. It's got double strike, so I could lose life fast. So you know what, let's go for the Deadly Visit first. Let's see if he actually has it. Nope. Well, Sinister Sabotage, he did have something. So let that resolve. So actually 1 more mana. Wait, so it's 5, 6, 7, 8. So I could. No, I'm gonna just drop the Child of Night now. No attacks. I can afford to take some damage. In fact, what I'm gonna do next turn is Vigor Spore Worm. If I can get a land, I can Vigor Spore Worm, make this unblockable. So let's see. When it attacks, so it's gonna kill our Child of Night. So let's make the most out of it while it still can. Now, unbelievably, next turn our opponent has to answer our Pass Wall Adept first, or else Vigor Spine Worm get punches through. He could have another Justice Strike. That would be annoying. Yeah, he's looking at which creature to answer. If he attacks with the Hellkite Whelp, I don't have the Child of Night anymore. He's gonna attack with both, so that brings me down to 9. And that brings me 9 down to 11. Is there a pump effect? I'm actually okay with losing the Snitch now. Now he has to have an answer for this, or else it's over for him. Probably has some life gain effect. Shame the visit got countered. I'm actually liking the new overlay. I lost my. Uh-oh. Hold on, please stand by. I think I know what happened. So it's very possible that yeah, it's very possible my internet's acting up. No, my internet's just fine. Okay, so yep, we're back. We're back. That was a bit of a weird one. Let's hope nothing strange happened. So yep, it's our turn. He's representing something. I'm going to. I'm just gonna go for the. I'm gonna go for the win first, though. Yeah, he played an electrostatic wall. Yeah, he didn't have any blockers. So we managed to survive that one, and turns out, yeah, playing green's better. So, as cute as the red combination is, even if we had the mana for it, fundamentals always come first. So, which means we still have to prioritize our ways to win. Even our synergy still has to lead us to a win. It's not just about control all the time, because sure, there are ways you can get pure control. But that's not exactly true, not even in real life. Sometimes control doesn't just happen. I'm already starting to regret this creeping chill, but let's keep it anyway. So, we're not gonna get any actual plays until turn 3. We could remove something early if we have to. Our opponents had an early mull. We got 4 mana, so at least we could cast Creeping Chill. So, we're gonna go for turn 3 Dark. This might be a problem for our opponent if he mulliganed once. I feel so bad for our opponent. Things like this happen. Yeah, that. I'm really curious. I hear people complain on forums and whatnot. Oh, I didn't get to draw lands in time, and sometimes I wonder what exactly are the mulligans that you keep that you end up in that position. Like our opponent kept. I think he had a bunch of 2-drops already, so all he needed was 1 more land. But I would still be scared to play that. Yes, I'll admit, I have been greedy at times. I've done that, and I've been summarily punished for it. I guess I would keep a 1-lander if I'm already down to 5 cards. Consider that's as bad as it gets. Though to be fair, I probably have kept worse. Here, we got at least 2 lands, and we got action on the next turn. So this is gonna be funny. I'm gonna keep this one. So you just heard me preach about keeping bad hands. Now watch me keep a bad hand. That said, at least 2 lands is a better buffer than 1 land. But you can still be summarily punished. So let's see if Karma. Okay. This was a slightly better. As I said, this is a slightly better option. You just needed only 1 land, not that many. So our opponent is also on the Whispering Snitch plan. I could eventually take it down. So I'm gonna pass first. In fact, I think we might convince our opponent to attack into us. So we get to surveil. He actually keep the Darkblade Agent. So he had his own Darkblade Agent too. And combat, attack. Let's see if he doesn't take the trade. Guess what? Now, I don't like playing. I could play the Plague Crafter, just sacrifice the Whisper Agent. I could also play Bartisan Bats, but that's asking for removal to happen. I'll just play the Plague Crafter now. Sacrifice Whisper Agent. So, keeping some semblance of control. Opponent's gonna start trying to draw into cards. Notion Rain's quite good, but this is more of a late turn spell. Of course, perfectly okay to cast this if you really need the lands. So I'm actually gonna play the Darkblade Agent first. No, because on a board of 2 creatures to 0, that's not too bad. Let's see what our opponent does. Also, Night Veil Sprite. So he has repeatable surveillance. I could attack with both force. I'm gonna attack with the Watcher first. No, attack with the Watcher. Cast the Watcher first. I'm gonna need this mana eventually, but not now, so I'm gonna ditch that. So I'm gonna send both of these in. Now our opponent has a decision. He could just trade the... In fact, he could throw both of these guys to prevent me from drawing a card, but that's probably not gonna happen. So I got the Deadweight for the Night Veil Sprite next turn. I could also just cast Passwell Adept and start running through. So let's just attack. So let's do that first. So I'm actually gonna just play the... I'm actually gonna play the Passwell Adept first. He's gonna Sinister Sabotage that. That's okay, because this only gives him Surveil. He doesn't have a payoff yet. I guess him dumping the Whispering Snitch, running into my guy was a big morale killer. So let's cast our own Whispering Snitch. I could have just done it in the reverse order though. No, he's gonna pay, so we're gonna lose that. He's gonna get to surveil more stuff. He actually, no, he hasn't ditched much. He might have ditched one of the Sinister Sabotages. So we got one set of bats. So now our opponent has to answer all this. Ritual of Suit would ruin us. Yeah, that I didn't expect that in the very first game, but there it was. Capture Sphere. Okay, that's perfectly fine. So it's gonna take us. Oh no, so. So there, we managed to. That was a much better run. So yeah, so far out of 3 matches, that's 2 Dimir decks. That's, well, to be fair, I don't know what our other opponent had, since he played the Forest. May or may not be Dimir, because green splashes with green goes with white. It will also go with black, which kind of goes with blue. You get the idea. Now this one's awfully scary. No, even if it's 4 lands, this is my only action. It's Creeping Chill. No. Okay, let's be careful where I hover that mouse. I almost clicked. Okay. Now this one, this is the same situation our opponent that one opponent had. Considering I can cast absolutely nothing, and I'm praying for a black mana source, and I know that's the lower end. Okay, this one's better. And I definitely have to keep that. Shame I don't get to cast the Mere Informant, but I can cast Whisper Agent, so it's still something. That said, I'm probably not gonna win this game. Okay, might serve. I'm gonna maybe fake out our opponent, think we're Golgari, but that minor detail is not that important. So we could at least gain some life back. I could really use a blue source now, though. So he could sack the Torch Courier, but that does nothing. Still no blue source. So pass the turn. Yeah, this one's hovering because our opponent could just sack this anytime to give haste. There could be a time window limit, but sometimes being able to sacrifice willy-nilly is not a bad option. That said, our opponent's just gonna attack with Sky Knight Legionnaire. So I'm gonna cast a Whisper Agent now just to get something back. Also, maybe try to dig for that island. I'm definitely gonna. There you go. Well, at least we know what's up there. So we're gonna go down to 18. So I'm gonna swing first though. Let's see if our opponent's willing to trade the trade agents. Yeah, he's actually willing to trade. So definitely ditch the Fire Urchin. Play Darkblade Agent. This is our only means of catching up. If we lose the Darkblade Agent, that's a problem. Scary thing, if our opponent's playing Boros and has Justice Strike, us giving the Darkblade Agent Death Touch is actually a liability. But we need the cards. We just have to go for it. Surveil 2 is not too bad. Now, I'm definitely surveilling into more action. Sad thing is, this guy's probably gonna just get chump blocked if ever. I could play the bats first though. No, I need to surveil first. In fact, I could swing with both since I'm not gonna block this guy up here anyway. So I managed to get some life out of it. Okay, cool. We'll ditch the swamp, play the Plague Crafter. But I need to actually start keeping some other lands too. So I'm gonna swing with the entire team. So he has the option to just chump everything on the Darkblade. He's gonna do just that. But not too bad. 2-4-1. He's just not letting me draw cards. So we can now trade. So you can now have some sort of parity. 2 a turn, 2 a turn. Opponent's actually kind of stuck on lands. So that might be an issue our opponent's having. So I'm gonna scratch the Demir Informant because we can get more use out of the Snitch. And at least we stop getting beaten on the air. That said, our opponent probably has a Justice Strike. Or not. Or he could just be waiting for us to attack into it. So we're gonna keep holding on as long as we can. Seems our opponent's stuck. Oh, he opted for that instead. Well, that's fine. At least he got that out now. And I can cast this guy safely. Yeah, let's cast the Swamp because we do have 5 mana spells. Now, I'm still expecting this guy to die in short order. Ooh, or we're gonna have to race. Okay. I could not have sequenced that properly if I tried. So I'm definitely keeping... I definitely have to keep these two. The bad thing is... Okay, Vigor Spore Worm is great, but we're not gonna have the mana to cast it at all. Whisper Agent, we could use that. I'm actually gonna just ditch the Vigor Spore Worm. Because we simply don't have the mana to cast it. If I'd kept one of the swamps earlier, that would have been an option. That said, we do have enough mana to cast our other splash card. Actually, shame too. That yet another hammer drop. We can actually surprise him now. He has no idea what we kept. No, he could still answer it before I block, but at least I have the option. He's thinking if he should. Now I wonder what he's gonna cast first, though. Definitely the Whisper Agents is going to be a bust. It's just gonna be a big roadblock. So Fresh Face Recruit. He could still have removal. He could remove it now if he had the... Yeah, he has removal. At least I get the Surveil off. Does he have removal? Yeah, he has removal. So... Whoops. Okay, ditch the Guild Gate because I now don't need anything beyond 5 mana. So... Okay. No, he has a propensity to cast... Let's see if he casts something before combat. I'm not gonna let the trigger happen, so Hammer Dropper goes back to the... Keep the creeping chill. Oh, I could have discarded it. Oh, so not used to this. And... Yeah, I should have gone for the free one. It has vigilance, so I have to attack. I have to trade, no choice. I made a mistake. I'm so not used to casting. I can't cast cards. That was such a big mistake. Ooh. Let's see what our next card is. Could have ended the game right then. Well, not really. Our opponent still has to cast this guy now. We're gonna see the Hammer Dropper come down again. So if he drops this one, we end up taking 8 damage. So we're not quite dead yet. That's... But I don't have any more creeping chills. I do have a Whisper Agent. I can run him over. Pass turn. My other gamble is I can make him attack first. I don't block this. No, he's got 5 mana. He's got something to cast at this point. So let's see. Got Artful Takedown off the top. I'll definitely keep that. So I'm gonna take 3. So let's see what he casts. So I'm just buying. I'm buying time now, like it's no one's business. Yeah, I could have used this earlier. Okay, definitely the Hellkite Wolf's gonna go. Pass turn. So on combat, let's see what he. Can he play land? Not gonna wait, so we're gonna do both. Tap. -2, -4. So that buys me yet another turn. I'm probably not... Okay, that's a bit small enough. That's not small. In fact, that's dangerous in its own right. And 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's good game. I misplayed that. I misplayed that one a while ago. I really could. That one extra drop could have saved me. Well, let's be. Actually, it's the second time I put Creeping Chill in my in my limited deck. Yeah, you have to mentor the Marshall. Yeah, that was such a bitch. So at this rate, yeah, we can kiss ours. It's okay. What is rank? So now, so 3 wins, 2 losses. Another win would be nice. Yeah, we keep forgetting we could cast that thing for free. If this happens one more time, I'm probably just gonna not play that card ever again. It's quite annoying. So we can play our 2 drops, and we have 2 of them. We're just waiting for a blue source, but even then, any additional lands is just fine. So I am gonna actually keep this one. So I don't get to play everything, but I do get to play something. And with the guild gate on time, I do get to play everything. So turn 2... I guess I'll do turn 2 Snitch. Into turn 3 Informant. Not quite aggressive. It depends what our point... Ooh. So... Now this is an interesting mix, because there's no Azorius, there's no Orzhov, so the white is for a specific monocolored card that's really good. So one's playing Disinformation Campaign. I'm going to ditch the Child of Night. Yeah, that was a good call, so... So we need land, so I'm gonna actually play this properly now. Yeah, okay, I'm less traumatized now. So we get to play the bats next turn, then we're gonna need, yeah, we play the bats, and we can start paying some deadly visits to our opponent's creatures. We might not be able to attack. Our opponent definitely has mana to cast something at this point. Darkblade Agent. Okay, we're not getting past that. Am I willing to take the damage and let him draw a card? Yes, I probably am. I'm not going to trade the bats off, because this one's enough removal in its own right. We could just remove this guy in our own terms. I could have actually just attacked just to sneak in 1 extra damage, but... Let's see. Our opponent had 1 mana floating. I don't remember if there's a combat trick in black that pumps. There usually is at 1 mana. Also, I want our opponent to be scared enough to think we're actually gonna block. So... But I'm not gonna block. If you're gonna go Surveil, do it now. He's probably gonna... Okay. So he gets to draw a card, he gets to Surveil a bit. Yeah, so he did have a trick. And the bad thing is, we now have to discard... I'm gonna discard the Swamp. No need to show him the Deadly Visit at this point. Besides, we don't need the black mana specifically, we just need any land. So, like that. So I'm actually gonna play this now. gonna ditch the swamp, keep the unexplained disappearance. Basically, we're just trying to push our way through with removal. We're gonna kiss the bats goodbye because of Silent Dart, but that's okay. If he uses the Silent Dart on this guy, that means he's not gonna spend mana on much anything else. And we can actually use Unexplained Disappearance to protect our stuff. Unexplained Disappearance on Demir Informant and recast Demir Informant. That's 2 triggers. Right? A bit greedy? Yeah, he probably is. So he's gonna go for the kill. So we're gonna have to take our time pinging our opponent. So we can bring him down to 7. 6 with the trigger. So I'm gonna wait on it a bit. Let's see if our opponent actually tries. Well, he might just try to remove Whispering Snitch. So I won't get the effect because of the way it's ordered. Burglar Rat. So you have to discard a card. I'm gonna discard the. I'm gonna discard the Unexplained Disappearance. Oh wait, no, cancel. Let's resolve that. Let's discard the Unexplained Disappearance. So he's gonna go down to 6. Another burglar. Oh, it's just rats galore. Okay, so I lose all my removal. And now I'm in top deck mode. I probably should keep at least 6 mana now since my hope is a particular worm. Got 2 creatures there, so there's that effect. The indicator doesn't come up until the relevant creature actually shows up in your hand. So it's not overloading you with information. It's not saying, oh, you have Storm Count this, you have Bloodthirst this and that, whatnot. Losing the removal spells is a pain though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 is enough. I'm gonna pass the turn. Yeah, probably could have just cast the removal spell, bounce my guy, get the surveil trigger. I could have started ditching some of these lands, and I would have discarded the informant. Dowser of Lights. It's actually quite decent as a vanilla creature, I suppose. Kind of overlooked that one. So, opponent's going for Venerated Loxodon. So, his rat is... Okay, so at least he convoked with that one, so I'm not gonna get beaten down quite yet. Kind of wish he just convoked with this guy too. There's no reason to hold him back. Well, you might be afraid I might have another removal spell. Okay, that's... Okay, so he ditched lands too. So this is not great. We're going to be taking a bit of damage right now. This might be the end of our run, guys. Opponent was able to get rid of all the cards we needed. Goodness. In hindsight, yeah, because let's see. If I played that one... No, I was not going to bounce this rat. Yeah, I probably would have just bounced the Demir Informant. As it is, I've thrown... Okay, so I'm gonna... No blocks. So we just need to start getting damage through. I already used... No, I haven't used Artful Takedown yet. Chromatic Lantern doesn't help us. I can attack. It's... My Snitch is just gonna eat a rat and I get 1 damage through. Is 4... Am I more likely to win if my opponent's at 4 or at 5? No, I'm just gonna pass. So we had a decently mediocre Demir deck. We we were missing a bunch of effects. Okay, so we're definitely gonna take 5 damage. Actually, we could say we're definitely gonna take 9 damage and we have no way of blocking. I think that's overkill. He's gonna go for the win. Is he gonna even pay mana to make one of these guys unblockable? No, he's not. So let's see. 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm not getting past these. Yeah, let's see everything that he's got. So well, that was it. That was an interesting run, and we managed to get some good games out of it at least. Well, 2 good games. But all in all, not too bad. I can't come. I also like the fact that, oh, you have a chromatic lantern. Take a look at these guys now. Yeah. So, well, that's it for our run. We did moderately well. And we're gonna go back to bronze the next time you see me, I guess. Let's claim our prize at least. Well, at least the game is merciful enough to us to give us 2 packs, but I'll accept the consolation prize. So that's it for this episode, the Magic Arena Run. You like what you see, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I do limited on the weekends. I do constructed videos on during the weekdays. Next up, we're gonna be taking a look at another deck, another color combination, not in Guilds of Ravnica. We're gonna take a look at the white-blue artifacts attack deck. In the original, previously it was a historic-based deck. Now it's just all about getting as many artifacts as possible. Let's see if the deck improved a bit or not. Anyway, so that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time.